Good afternoon, everybody. This is Tracy Armstrong, owner operator of North Pittsburgh Greeting Company, the area's premier welcome wagon service, welcoming all the new homeowners and businesses for the past 16 years. Today, we are with Dr. Dan Turo. He owns Family Chiropractic, located in North Hills section of Pittsburgh. And today, we're going to talk about something that a lot of people are very, very familiar with: parenting pains. And we were Dr. Dan and I are just talking. I have a 16-year-old and he has three little ones. And parenting pains are a pain from the time they're 1 years old till the time, you know,
From
30.
womb to tomb.
It's just a different set of parenting pains. But today we're going to talk about parenting pains and how they could affect your body as the parent. Dr. Dan, you and I are talking about something that most people don't discuss. That's called parenting pains. Tell us, as a chiropractor's point of view, what are parenting pains?
So we're going to stick with kind of the physical today. We always talk in my office about the three dimensions of stress: physical, biochemical, and mental emotional. And yeah, right before we jumped on, you were talking about your 16-year-old son and some of the financial stress that could be associated approaching college, and how I've got three of them, and one day how possible education funds in there. But we're just gonna push the financial stress aside today and really focus on the physical stressors. I had a young dad. He's got a 2-month old, and he came to see me recently with a massive flare up of neck pain. And we kind of talked about how he was getting used to holding his new baby, holding the baby itself, carrying her around, rocking her, soothing her, but also getting her in and out of the car seat, carrying the car seat, putting the car seat in and out of the car. So all of those can be a major stressor because of how we're holding one arm. Usually it's very unilateral. Okay. So we're usually holding that baby on one side. Typically it's our non-dominant side that will hold the baby in, because then our dominant side is the hand that's reaching for, a bottle, or reaching for a bag, or, trying to do something while the infant's in your other arm. So, that one-sided motion can really create some muscular imbalances and put a lot of stress on the spine, and then ultimately the nerves and blood vessels that are feeding out from that area. So it can cause a significant amount of pain. It can cause tingling and numbness down the arm. And then I even did a video recently where I actually showed, when you're picking up a car carrier, if you're picking it up incorrectly, especially, you can actually have a major shift in your spine from the upper back all the way down to the low back, and have a complete tilt in that spine when you're trying to counterbalance the weight of that car seat carrier. So that can create some major imbalances in the lower back as well. And if it's done incorrectly for a long enough period of time, you can really lead to some major misalignments and some major pain that would come along with that.
And parents often skip taking care of themselves and focus more on their kids. And what can a parent do to focus a little bit on themselves, just a little bit, because that's all we get, just a
Yeah,
little bit of time to
that's right.
focus on
That's
themselves.
right. And we talk about this. Obviously, I think this is why we were, we were created to have children when we were younger, because
Mhm.
we are more resilient. We have the ability to, to adapt through some of these challenges. Um, but certainly being aware of your posture and how you are carrying a car seat. Again, you can, I can probably post a link to the video of me doing the proper
Mhm.
posture with the car seat carrier. So, making sure you're carrying, that car seat appropriately has a big difference. If you're carrying a diaper bag, especially as a young mom, making sure that you're switching arms when you are carrying that diaper bag, that can really, have an impact to make sure that you're balancing, that distribution of weight left to right, at least switching side to side. Kind of like you wouldn't go to the gym and just do, curls, or just do,
Mhm.
push press on one arm. You would do it, do it both sides, whether it's at the same time or different times, same idea. So when you're carrying that bag, making sure that you are, aware of which side you are using it on, and try and switch up that side to make sure you're developing the musculature appropriately. And then really, to get into nursing moms. Again, we're not even going to get into the major benefits of nursing your child from a
Mhm.
mental, emotional, and physiological benefit for you, for the mom and the child. But really, from a physical perspective, moms that are, holding their baby on one side, they're tilting their head, looking down at the infant, again, trying to make that, that connection to them. However, what can happen is if you fall asleep, while you're looking at your baby, and then all of a sudden that
Mhm.
head is, kicked back, and, you realize you're sleeping for 20, 30, 40 minutes with that head kinked to the side or head kinked down, that can put a significant amount of stress. So being aware of that, and if you've, got, dad in the picture, and, he's there with you, helping to make him aware as well, like, hey, it's time to wake up. I try and recognize when my wife is falling asleep, like, hey, you need to go to bed, you need to get into a better position. So otherwise, you're going to wake up with a massively sore neck because of that positioning with nursing. So making sure your arms are properly supported as well, under a pillow, can, lift a baby up a little bit higher and
Mhm.
have that support. So baby's weight isn't constantly pulling down on your shoulders, whenever moms are nursing. So that also has a major impact for an infant perspective.
And then we're talking about infants, and now we go into toddlers. And toddlers are adorable, but
Oh,
they set a whole new set of challenges for parents.
that's right.
Now, what can they be?
So again, one of the biggest factors, we see, especially in that first year, growth is happening so quickly. So your body has to adapt and get used to carrying that heavy weight, and that heavier weight, especially, when you're adding, when you've got a little baby that's, 7, 8 pounds and is going in the car seat. Okay, that car seat, no problem. Then that baby doubles in weight to 16 pounds, plus the weight of the car seat. You're really starting to add some weight to that. So, and then of course the toddlers that want to be attached to you,
Mhm.
especially if you have a new infant and maybe you've got a 2 or 3 year old that still wants to be picked up. Well, now you got to balance. All right, well, I'm holding baby, and I got to snuggle snuggle my toddler as well. And of course, toddlers are everywhere, right? They're
They
getting
are.
into nooks and crannies. They're running up and down steps. You got to stop them, pull them down from jumping up on chairs and tables and cabinets and countertops. Jumping off the back of the couch. So you're literally chasing them around. It
Yeah.
feels like at times, trying to keep their safety, all while trying to maintain your sanity. So certainly that heavier weight, trying to make sure that you're lifting that toddler with appropriate mechanics. I always tell people, is it easier to lift something when it's closer to your body or further away from your body? And certainly the mechanics tells you it's easier when it's in close, because the further away, the longer the lever, the
Mhm.
more stress that's on your system, specifically the spine and the nervous system. So, when you are lifting that, that toddler that's growing quickly, making sure that you are, engaging your legs, your core, and, making sure you get the mechanical advantage of them being in close, not far away from you.
And okay, so now we've talked about infants and toddlers, and now that your kids are getting a little bit older, maybe 4, 5, 6. Are we in the clear? And I know we're not.
That's right. That's right. Don't we all wish? Yeah, you would just,
So,
yeah, we somehow hit that age where it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about my children. But I know even my mother, worries about me, and
yes, she
here
does.
I am, a young man who has been launched for several years now. So, I think from mother and fatherhood, we never stop worrying about or
Mm-mm.
caring about our kids. But certainly when we move past toddler and more into that child age of that 6 to 12 range, they still love to wrestle
They
and they
do.
love to horse around. And of course, that horsing around gets more and more intense, especially with boys. But we see it
Yeah,
with both
and I was just gonna
boys.
say, generally, when you're talking about that, moms, we get kind of lucky. We're not included in the wrestling and the horseplay, but boy, you dads, I mean,
Oh,
I mean, my son used to just dive on my husband. My
oh yeah.
gosh, did he-
Yeah, My 9-year-old is solid.
Yes.
He is a very big kid, solid, strong kid. He's over 100 pounds at 9 years old, and I think I forget if he cleared 5 feet yet. If he didn't, he's very
Mhm.
very close to clearing 5 feet. So I walk in the door, and he's running almost full speed at me to
Yeah.
give me a hug, and I'm like, dude, whoa,
Yeah.
I got to get into my tackle defensive position to to be able to absorb that force. So certainly the horsing around, it's so much fun, but again, as a dad or a mom, and you're wrestling with the kids, you just want to be aware of that posture and being able to brace yourself. So the more you're aware of your kids and that weight distribution, that momentum and force coming at you, being able to absorb that in a safe, effective, and fun way, can really lead to a lot of fun playtime without the injury. Funny enough, because again, we never lose that enjoyment because once you move past parenthood, you may eventually then move into grandparenthood. And I just had a husband and wife, grandparents to a 10-year-old, and
Hmm.
their 10-year-old grandson was visiting a couple weeks ago when we had all that snow, and they built up a nice ramp. Their
Sure.
son and then their grandson, they built up a nice ramp, and grandma and grandpa were going off that sled riding ramp as well. And they said all three of them, grandpa, dad, and grandson, were all pretty sore that
Sure.
evening and the next day. So you're really wanting to protect yourself because you certainly don't want to give yourself an injury and then avoid all the other wonderful interactions that you can have because you're down and out with an injury. So playing it safe, just being aware of your surroundings is one of the keys to making sure you minimize that stress on your system. But we're never going to eliminate all of that stress completely. So certainly that's why my profession as a chiropractor exists, to make sure when you have those slips and falls and those misalignments that might not mean anything immediately, but if it's left unchecked for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, that's when we develop major breakdown of the spine and can lead to again, major chronic issues, chronic aches and pains that we certainly could have addressed much earlier on.
Fantastic. And so, for summary, kids really do put us through the ringer. They do. But we love them. We choose to have them. What else? What else can you tell us to sum things up about what we can do to help ourselves be able to be active parents with our children and still take care of our bodies?
Well, yeah, I think like I said, I talked a lot about awareness of posture, and the more body aware you are, the easier it is to adapt and transition into an acute situation that could be dangerous or injury proving to your body, and really avoid and truly prevent that. So body awareness is a big one. Resistance exercise, I think that's one thing that tends to get kind of pushed by the wayside. A lot of people, they love to run, they love to bike, swim, they love to do something cardiovascular, something endurance wise, which is great for your system, no doubt. But when we skip the resistance, the weight training, and it doesn't have to be go to the gym and lift like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but doing simple band exercises or simple small 3 to 5 pound dumbbell exercises, or body weight exercises, just doing a simple body squat to make sure you're building up the musculoskeletal framework, gives you a better ability to adapt to those situations. And then certainly working with a professional like a chiropractor, who has the ability to monitor those things for you, just like you go to your dentist and they monitor the health of your teeth. Having a chiropractor being able to monitor the health of your spine, the neuromusculoskeletal system, to make sure that it is optimized and it's as healthy as possible. Because when it is as healthy as possible, then you're able to adapt through, enjoyable playtime, horsing around events, and not injure yourself every time that it comes along.
And Dan, do you have with spring coming and whatnot? Do you have any new patient deals coming up at Turo Family Chiropractic?
So we always offer, anytime you find us online, we always offer, our new patient evaluation. It's very, very significant in terms of looking at your health history. So what led you to the point of getting into our office? We look at some things like an infrared thermal scan where we're analyzing the health of your nervous system, Is it stressed? Is it not stressed? Is it, severely stressed, moderately stressed? We can see those things on a temperature variation scan. And then we certainly go and we look at x-rays, which really tell us the story over the last, 5, 10, 15, 20 years of what has happened to your spine and what we can do to help optimize the strength and stability of it. So that initial evaluation, normally when someone would come in off the street, would be in excess of $300 to $400. But we always have a new patient online special for 125. But I believe, in addition to that new patient special online on our website of 125, if they say they see us on this video, we do the entire initial evaluation for 75. Which is really, oh yeah, it's like
That's
it's a
an
complete.
amazing. That's
We
amazing.
just remove all barriers for
Mhm.
making sure that you're coming in. And again, we at the end of the day, it's the opportunity to make sure that you're in the right place. That's what we want to make sure. I want to make sure that we're the right office for you. We're the right team for you. Making sure we are fitting what your health goals are, and help you achieve those health goals. Both in the short term and the long term.
Great. Well, Dr. Dan Turo of Turo Family Chiropractic, located in the North Hills, you are always an abundance of information. You're just very knowledgeable. For people who don't know this, Turo Family Chiropractic truly is a family chiropractic office. Dr. Dan obviously is the chiropractor, but he is his wonderful wife Erin runs the practice, so she's actually the boss.
He is the boss,
And
absolutely, no doubt about that.
And not only that, Dan's wonderful sister Angela works there, and she can help you with nutrition and exercise advice. She's a very intelligent young woman. Your mother must be so proud of the two of you.
I
Um,
always say I'm the spinal adjustment specialist. She's the lifestyle adjustment
She
specialist.
is. She is. So Turo Family Chiropractic is not there just for chiropractic and your this and that and your aches and pains, but they can also help you with your all-around health goals because they are a very knowledgeable office and a family-oriented office, which is very important. So Dr. Dan Turo of Turo Family Chiropractic, located in the North Hills section of Pittsburgh, thank you so much for talking to us
Thank
today.
you,
Today.
Tracy.
Thank you. And again, this is Tracy Armstrong, North Pittsburgh Greeting Company, the key to making the first impression. Thank you. All right, sir. I will